Hey, this is Ian Westerman. I'm the head pro at EssentialTennis.com, where it is our mission to bring passionate instruction to passionate tennis players just like you. Welcome to episode number 54 of Ask Ian. Today we've got a great question from Rich, who wrote in and basically has a scenario where he thinks he's getting treated unfairly on the doubles courts. He wrote to me and said, playing a mixed doubles match last night with the play being at about an 8.0 combined rating, we were almost through the first set and my partner was serving from the ad side. I was at the net. The other player crushed a ball right at my head and there was no apology. I said, hey man, that isn't cool. He said it was my fault for standing too close to the net. He also said that it was my partner's fault for serving a soft serve. I started to get into it a little bit and I said, I know you're a good player and that you can place the ball anywhere you want, so there's no need to hit it right at me like that. And his response was that he meant to put it there. Nice. Rich goes on to say, we continued the rest of the match. I wanted to drill him back, but I held back, just focusing on playing tennis. We ended up winning, but it left me with a sour taste. His partner apologized for him after the match. I've never seen this in 8+ years of recreational tennis. What do you do when you encounter jerks like this on the courts? All right, so Rich, gonna have a little bit of tough love today on this episode of Ask Ian. If we have my first thing in my notes here, if you and I were friends, Rich, and we were sitting down having a beer someplace, basically after hearing your story, I would say, suck it up. Basically, like the long and the short of it is, this is part of doubles. And I've got a bunch of things that I'm gonna get across here, and hopefully it makes sense. Definitely don't mean to trivialize this situation or scenario at all. It's a kind of question that I get pretty frequently, so I'm glad I'm doing this video so that I can share it whenever I get this question. There are scenarios where hitting at somebody is not appropriate, and I've got three of them. Scenario number one, at total beginner levels of tennis, when people on the court just really don't have a core base of competency or confidence, or they're just not sure where to stand, they're not sure where to hit. At levels like that, I don't feel like it's very appropriate to purposefully hit at somebody who's at the net who just doesn't have a baseline of skill or awareness of what's going on around them. And that's not most levels of tennis, just really pure beginner. I feel like it's kind of a cheap shot if you do it on purpose, because the person at the net just doesn't have the skills to defend themselves. So I feel like in that scenario, it's kind of a cheap shot. But usually at beginner levels of tennis, it's not intentional, it's not malicious, it's just usually a pure accident at that level of tennis. Scenario number two, where I feel like it's not appropriate to hit at somebody, if it's just purely a social match, and I mean purely social, and my definition of that is it doesn't count for anything. There's not really a winner or a loser. You're really just barely keeping track of score, just as a formality. Everybody is friends, it's a friendly match, and nobody's actually trying to get better. This isn't a practice match where anybody's working on their skills or trying to hit the ball stronger or trying to work on certain parts of their game. It's just purely social. Personally, this is all my opinion. You're more than welcome to disagree with me in the comments down below, by the way. If it's purely social, then I don't feel like it's appropriate to purposefully hit at somebody in that scenario either. That's number two. Number three, if there's a really big difference in level to where it's just completely lopsided. And I don't mean one player to another player, I mean in the match. If you're up, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, and you're just rolling over the other team, then I feel like in that scenario, it's not very good form to just go right at somebody at the net, especially if they're like the weaker of the two players during the match, all right? So hopefully those make sense. In my opinion, that's when it's not appropriate to go right at somebody. In all other forms of doubles, I feel like it's totally fair game, because as you get better and better and better at doubles, higher level doubles becomes more and more a game of which team can take over the net and positionally, is that a word? I'm not sure. You're going to have to tell me. Positionally assert themselves by getting close to the net, taking over the points, and putting the ball away. If you watch 5-0 level doubles or top level college doubles or professional doubles, it's all about who can get close to the net, assert themselves, and put the ball away consistently. Usually that team is going to be winning most of the points. And so it's all about kind of intimidation. And this is a lot like baseball. Recently I was watching a game of the World Series, and the commentators were talking about how the team that's going to win is going to be the team whose pitcher controls the inside third of the plate. Meaning, if they can control that little narrow part of the plate and just kind of be aggressive with the placement of their pitches, and really kind of assert themselves, that's going to be the team that really is able to win the most games. I thought that was interesting and very similar to this kind of scenario where you need to play a little bit of smash mouth style as you get better and better. At intermediate levels, it's more tentative. Nobody's really confident closing in. But as you get better and better, it's more and more about getting close and keeping your opponents off the net is the counter to that. A couple more, just one more main thought here. There is, oh, and by the way, so as that's occurring, it's totally natural to have the ball get hit at you. I used to tell my students it's not doubles until somebody gets hit. Because if you play 2 sets of doubles and nobody gets hit inadvertently at some point, then there's just not a whole lot of aggressive action going on. There's not a whole lot of people closing in and improving their position on the court and trying to take over the net. And quite frankly, I think good doubles is all about those things. Now, last thing I'll say is there's a big difference in my mind between hitting at somebody and actually trying to hit that person on purpose, aka malicious intent. Those are two totally different things. If your opponent is purposefully hitting at you because he has an easy shot and you are close to the net, that is totally fair game. You are standing in the court, in the bounds of play that he is aiming for. And so if you have a short amount of time to react and he has an easy ball, that's just good strategy. That's just good shot selection, in my opinion. Now, there's a difference between that and purposefully trying to hit somebody with the ball. If he hits at you on purpose and it happens to hit you, and he puts his hand up and says, sorry, man, and turns around, that's totally legit in my book. It's just part of doubles. If he's purposefully trying to hit you with the ball and there is no apology, then I think that's different. And quite frankly, at that point, I think he's just being a jerk. Now, it's still within the rules. And so, I'm not sure there's necessarily anything you can do about that besides beat him and play good doubles and beat him at his own game. Not necessarily trying to hit him back, but get what I'm saying. Be aggressive back, take over the net before he can do that to you. That's really the best recourse and the best answer. Hopefully this all makes sense. I kind of went in a lot of different directions there. Hopefully you get where I'm coming from with this. There are times where it's not appropriate. Quite frankly, every time I stepped on the courts, I got hit at the college level. It's part of the game at higher levels of play. At beginner to intermediate levels, it's kind of a faux pas to hit at people. And honestly, I think that's an attitude players need to get away from, because as they get better and play stronger opponents, it starts to become part of the game. Now, if you're looking to improve your doubles game, we've got some free coaching for you. We're going to put a link in the description down below. 3 free videos showing you how to play strong, aggressive, confident doubles. Highly recommend you check that out. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If so, do me a favor and click like. If you have any comments or questions, maybe you disagree with me about this, leave those down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, take care, and good luck with your tennis. For hundreds of free digital tennis lessons, head over to essentialtennis.com right now. More wins and more fun on the court is right around the corner. You'll even get a free gift just for stopping by. Simply click the link at the top of any page.